Dame Dash said Camron is doing the most un-Harlem shit that you could possibly do, and he don't know why. Let's get into it and see what he had to say.
You know, Cam has been talking a lot. Sometimes it's complimentary, but a lot of times it's things that I don't think that we should be speaking about publicly. And I can't, he won't, like I haven't called him a lot, but when I did call, he doesn't pick up. And I think he's publicly said he doesn't pick up my calls if I call because he can't win this argument with me or, you know, over, I don't know. But I do want to give him some advice because I haven't been able to talk to him. So, number one, you know, he said some things about my pockets. And initially, I was going to respond. But the Queen of Harlem came up and she kind of was just like, leave it alone. She made logical sense. And I just felt like, you know, I'll deal with it when I see him or when we talk, you know. But I haven't seen him, but I keep hearing him talk about me. So I want to give him the advice because he's talking about me publicly. I guess I'd have to give him the advice publicly. So I would prefer not to have to do this, but in public. But I guess this is what you want. And also I'm noticing that you're leveraging it for views.
I was just about to say he doing it for views. You know, that's the game he playing in now. You know, having both of those podcasts, Talks with Flea and the one It Is What It Is, I think that's what he got to do now. He got to talk about stuff that's going to get him clicks. So, you know, that's where he at. But let's continue.
That seems to now be your business. So, I guess I could get some views as well. I look at it more like, I guess maybe you're throwing me some jaded alley-oop, but I'm very surprised. This isn't the Cam that I know or co-sign. You know, like, number one, talking about another man's pockets, I just felt like him and I would have conversations about that's just not the most masculine thing to do. Talking about other people, especially when they're not in the room, to me is coward shit. For me, if you have something to say to someone that you respect and that you know, you don't go on a television show and speak on it. You give them the respect of calling them. And, you know, I would challenge you to ask your co-host Mace or the girl that is with you if they think that the right approach is to talk about people that you respect that have helped you in public because they said something that you don't like rather than call them.
Do y'all agree? I agree with him 1,000%. I mean, him and Cam got a relationship to where Cam could have picked up the phone and called him if he had an issue. That's just how I look at it, you know. Cam has been on some other stuff, in my opinion, lately. You know, ever since he got into the clickbait game, podcasting and stuff. But let's continue.
And I don't respect, because anyone can sound articulate and tough or confident when no one's there to challenge them. All right. I just wish that we could have a conversation so that the things that you're saying so confidently, I could give you the right advice about your perspective on them. But it doesn't, there's no point for talking about people that aren't in the room if you can talk to them. And what I notice is when you do have people on your show, you're very nice to them, you know? And I don't think it's a problem being nice, but I do think there's times that they should be challenged. Like, I would never think that the Cam I knew would use his platform to sit with his old opps and talk about his brothers. So my advice, Cam, is like, you know, again, this is something that I've lived by. If someone had a problem with you, generally speaking, unless I could squash it, pause, then they had a problem with me. So if someone is disrespecting you, and I have them on my show, respectfully, I'm going to ask them about it. But I'm not going to sit with someone that I know is disrespecting my friends.
Yeah, he do got a point. I think he talking about that 50 Cent interview where him and 50 was just laughing about the Jim Jones situation. It's kind of weird. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought it was weird at the time when I seen it, but I mean, I guess in some kind of way or another, they cool. To be realistic, they beef was really about record sales. Let's be honest. Let's continue.
And the ha-ha and he and with them. I just wouldn't advise that. Also, this thing I saw, because you brought it up, about you talking to Memphis Bleak on your platform about the presidency of Rocafella. Number one, it was the vice presidency that we spoke about. But all we did was have a conversation between someone that I respected to be able to have a real conversation with. Until I got to talk to the rest of my crew about it, it's just called talking ideas. And where I'm from, it's not thorough to have a really private conversation and go to the radio and tell everybody before everyone else knows. Now, I just thought you were young, and I didn't even let you know, but I think you know how many problems that mistake you made caused. But you never said nothing to correct it. And now you're saying something about the presidency, which is not true. Sitting with people that you used to disrespect daily, at least that's what I used to see, laughing about the fact that you misspoke, not caring about how much damage that caused to Rocafella. Memphis Bleak told you that started everything. And it's all because of a conversation we had that you went and made public. That's not some Harlem. That's some young shit. But
yeah, he was flexing. You know he was flexing. He just took it and ran with that info. Flexing. Let's continue.
Now that you're about 50 years old, just laughing about it, thinking that that's funny, without caring about the recourse of this mistake you made, my advice is I don't think that's the way to approach it. And if you do have someone like Bleak, you should ask them why they were so mad. And I think you should have explained to them that, number one, you weren't going to be doing shit at Rocafella. You were going to be running Dipset. Nothing to do with Rocafella. And Beanie was going to be running state property. But that was just a conversation I had it with Beans. But y'all never talked. So now that I'm seeing how you're laughing at it, I'm wondering if you did it on purpose. Because it doesn't seem as if there was good intention. There's no remorse for it. I don't appreciate that.
I agree. Cam, you my man, 50 grand and all, you know what I'm saying? But I think you dropped the ball on this one. Do you guys agree? I think he got some info, being that they was young. This is 20 plus years ago, so he had to be mid-20s, early 30s or something like that. And then them just having that conversation, he ran with it, having a comfort with Dame. So, you know, and then it might have been a thing that, like he said, you probably was trying to set it off and just show him that you had some kind of authority over at Rock, and that was messed up. And you never did come back and correct things. You guys agree with it? Leave it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Is Cam on that BS? Does Dame have a point? What's your thoughts? It's the KMHP TV YouTube channel. If you like this video, you know what to do, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.